This project was a codominant sweetgum. It was on an empty lot. One side's already broke off, and the other side is leaning towards the house next door. It's kind of, a lot of it's hanging over the driveway and cars, and they were going to build on the lot, so we were there to take the whole thing out. This wasn't like a particularly huge tree, but it did have a good sized trunk on it. A lot of the canopy is already broken off, so this tree was in a sort of a sweet spot of like still climbable, but missing major portions of it and sort of like less to deal with than usual.
That thing's pretty hollow.
I was pretty happy to reach this spot and get a peek. In the beginning here, I was really trying not to hit any of the cars. We knocked on the door a couple times, but it was like on a Saturday or something. I don't think they were ready to get moving yet. So it's just kind of the strategy of make some noise, hope they hear it, and move the cars. See what you can do before they come out. It was a little bit of an awkward spot because the tree was so close to that house, you would think that it's on that lot, but it's actually on the lot next to it. And that empty lot is actually pretty narrow. There's a creek, like a drainage creek, on the right side of it. This is only effectively like about a 18 foot strip of space to build on that lot, with this 6-7 foot margin on either side. And that tree was hindering that space, so definitely easier to take it out before building than after.
Crazy.
Alright, this is the beginning of rigging. I'm gonna give myself like a solid C+ on my rigging on this job. It was not super great. It was like it worked, but could have been a lot more efficient. Could have just stuck to basics and not been goofing around so much. Like this right here was just overly complicated. It was an attempt to zipline rig a top out into the yard away from the corner of the house, but with controlled lowering. It ended up being so slow I didn't even want to put it in the video. It's pretty anticlimactic. I keep doing this thing lately where I just weave a web of unnecessary stuff around me, just a total cluster, and hit the trailer anyway. But it was all in the name of spreading out forces and trying to avoid overloading any particular spot. If anybody has experience with these sweetgum trees, feel free to share in the comments. I would love to hear about it. They're pretty interesting to me, like how tough they seem to be versus how easy they are to cut through, and kind of like seem to me like they handle some forces pretty well, even when they're like structurally compromised. There was another project where I did some dangerously dumb rigs off of really tall sweetgums where thankfully nothing bad happened, but definitely could have, and I cut a lot smaller now.
Day 2.
right here is the first time using some climbing wedges that I made, I think the day before, maybe the day of. Worked pretty good. I was really happy with them. Just little pieces of oak with holes drilled in them, and a short section of paracord. That stuff is surprisingly cheap, and you can get it just about anywhere. It comes in handy.
It's bleeding.
Yeah, my pants got drenched on that cut. But some tree juice is better than fiberglass any day. That's what I'm normally dealing with doing air conditioning work. And this tie right here was potentially disastrous. Trying not to repeat this. It caught and held, but if you watch, it's pretty bad. There's always that point where you say, okay, let's just drop the rest. And the lean towards the house is pretty serious, so we put a 5-to-1 on it with a backup line at the base of the tree towards the creek. And even with all that, it still wanted to go towards the house.
Wow.
Ever since I rebuilt this 660 clone, the strategy is becoming cut it small. If it's even remotely hard to move, just cut it smaller. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Thanks for watching. Make sure to hit the buttons if you liked it.